Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 287 for the week of November 29th, 2016. We survived Black Friday, hooray. My name is Ryan Higgins, who's here with me this week.
I'm Brock Sager.
Toby.
And Charlie.
What's up, guys?
Yo.
Not too much.
We're here.
Bryce says he's coming. We'll see. We got some X-Men news. We're going to hold off until he gets here, see if he makes it in time.
I wonder what news that is.
Yeah, we'll see. Black Friday was this week. Charlie and Toby, in the past, you guys were crazy people that camped out all night.
Yeah, we don't need to do that
That's
anymore.
changed in recent years.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What do you guys do now?
That doesn't exist anymore.
You just go online? No, people still do it. They're stupid.
Given
Fine,
the
you
fact,
call me stupid, then screw you, Ryan Higgins.
You weren't out there camping out all night.
No, you don't do it all night anymore. You go before dinner.
Oh, on Thursday?
Yeah. You knock it out within like a couple hours. You're done before dinner.
Yeah.
All is good.
Yeah,
It sucks for the employees. I really do think it sucks. I hope they get double overtime or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. Realistically, I do think it sucks for the employees if they are absolutely, totally required to be there. I always figure there's some people who are like, yes, I get time and a half.
Yeah, well, that's why I hope they get it, right?
Yeah.
But if they actually don't get it and they have to work, that sucks.
Yeah.
So I don't support that part.
But I mean, realistically, it is one of those things where it's weird because we're done really early now, and
Which is sweet, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to wait in the cold. I remember being really cold in the early mornings. Like, wait in the afternoon, neither me or Charlie go for big ticket items. Like,
Yeah.
I have a little list of movies I usually get. I'll run in, grab the things, I'm out. Charlie's usually done before I am. He texts me, I'm at the next place. I'm like, all right, I'll be right there.
Yeah.
and then Toby gets there, and then I'm like, I'm leaving now.
Yeah,
See
pretty
you
much.
later.
I kind of see him on the way out. I'm always like trying to chase him behind, but before you know it, we're done. I got my movies and whatever little things, and I go to dinner at someone else's house. Yeah.
And I mean, realistically, to what you said about online, I had 90-ish% of my stuff already ordered and taken care of online.
Yeah.
Before going out.
Well, that's because you were ready.
To me, it's sort of the tradition. This is what Toby and I do every year. We go out, we shop a bit, we hang out, talk, wander into places we used to work and be weirded out. It's all great.
Yeah, went into a little former place we worked at together. It is quite traditional. I felt bad for Charlie because he actually came to my line going, I'll just join you. I'm like, do you need anything? Not really. It's just tradition. I'm like, really? Yeah.
Line buddies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I still came away from Target with a fair amount of stuff. Not a crazy amount of stuff, but yes, there is the reality of if you're in the store and you see the stuff super cheap, you kind of get overcome with I can always return that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, I just put everything on an Amazon or Best Buy wish list, and I just scroll through the wish list, and I'm like, okay, that's $6.99. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, that's $5.99.
I mean,
bye.
like I said, Charlie was ready for the online stuff. He called me, or he tried to call me first time, and I couldn't pick up.
Yes, Charlie. There's like 9 of those Doctor Who hardcovers.
Yeah.
Charlie's looking through the previous book, by the way.
I saw that.
Yeah. So, anyways, he called me like the night when things were coming on sale, and he was like, "Toby, they're on. Buy now." And I'm like, drunk at a bar for my friend's birthday party. I'm like, when I get home and sober, it's still available. I do it.
Yeah, they had pretty good deals on all the DC TV shows.
Yeah, I remember texting you hey Ryan, are you awake?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then I think I told you the same exact thing in the morning. Yeah. So that was cool.
Yeah, I was pretty good this year. I had some other bills and stuff this year, so my Black Friday money was not really there. So I figured,
Well, it wasn't a whole lot for us, anyways. I mean, the most expensive thing I bought was that nice little 3DS that I finally upgrading to it.
Oh yeah, you got that right?
Yeah, no, I got it, and I always. The XL was always slightly too big for me.
Yeah.
Just like I personally didn't like the size. I liked the smaller version, which was Japan only up till now.
Yeah.
So I'm like totally scored.
No, that's a really good deal. For $99, that is a steal.
Yeah,
That's a
I
really
was
good price.
stoked.
Yeah,
I was really lucky that I was in that early.
Well, you were telling me something online that they like left the gate open and people just were grabbing them?
Yeah, well, first of all, online they sold out within split seconds.
Right.
So I knew I had to go to a store and I had to pick one, so I picked Target. And when I went there, it was really odd because we were like number 4 in line, which is rare. Usually a lot further back in
No,
line.
to me, what was odd is when they came out to give out the vouchers and
Oh, yeah.
nobody wanted to take any.
Oh, yeah, nobody cared for any of the hyper ticket items. Everybody there was like for little things.
Really?
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like they walked down a good portion of the line and nobody took any. So as they're letting us, they're just like, anybody need a voucher?
Yeah.
What were they for? Like TVs?
Yeah, like
and-
TVs
yeah,
and stuff.
whatever,
And just
yeah.
nobody was there for the TV.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I raced in, and I thought I was going to be the first one there, but the guy told me to go to the wrong place because he tried to sell me the older ones. I'm like, that's not the one I want.
Yeah.
And then I finally went further around, and there was already a lady there, and then she grabbed two of them, and then it was my turn. I grabbed mine, and then the guy left the thing because it's locked up usually.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
left it open. The next guy literally grabbed all 20 of them.
Holy shit.
Yeah, or whatever's left. Maybe it was
Yeah.
10, but I think it was 20. I think it was 10 and 10. So maybe he grabbed 8 of them or something like he just grabbed all of them.
I hope they didn't let him through the register with that.
I don't know, but he just grabbed, because I could tell he just
Yeah.
he grabbed all of them, put in his cart, and then it was like pretty much everybody else lost out. So if I was any further back in line, because he was literally the next person, if I was any further back in line, I would have missed out, and I would have been very mad.
Yeesh.
Yeah, it reminds me of when Star Wars Episode 1 came out, and I went figure hunting,
Yeah.
and then
Were there people behind him in line? Like, did he
Well, at
literally
that point, there was
just...
not a line, but he literally grabbed all of them. There's still people asking for it, which
Yeah.
was very frustrating. But during episode 1, I remember Yoda was like a hot one to get. I would check Toys R Us every time. And I finally went to one that had them, but it was in some guy's cart, and he had all of them. And I'm like, can I just have one of them? Because I really just want it for myself, not to sell. I'm like, you could keep all the reseller, whatever you want, but let me have one. He goes, all for $20. I'm like,
fuck
well,
those guys.
screw you. Yeah.
Killer assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any money because I get paid monthly, so I was at home.
Oh, next year. Save up.
Hopefully.
Black Friday, come and go. Hopefully some of you guys took advantage of our Black Friday sale on Comixology. We had a bunch of really good deals on there, so always check those out. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. Buy your digital comics down there. They had a bunch of cheap books.
Hopefully none of our listeners got harmed on Black Friday.
Yeah, Jesus. Well, they had like a buy one get one free on DC stuff, so they had some sales and they had some really cheap comics. But I'm trying to think, they had a few other pretty good sales.
They had some
big
graphic
image sale.
novel trades. Graphic novels were on sale, and
Yeah, they had a big image sale. One of the things I want to talk about this week, I know you guys watched it before we started recording. We saw the official trailer for Riverdale. That is the upcoming Archie TV show that they've got coming to CW. So even though not technically superhero, it is comic based. And when this was premiered at, I don't know what they showed at Comic-Con. They showed something at Comic-Con, maybe the whole episode. I don't actually know. I heard a lot of people describing it as like Archie's take on Twin Peaks, and I was like, what? No, don't be stupid. Of course not. It's just going to be like, it can't be like that Twin Peaksy.
You were just like, they are saying something with Twin Peaks? Hell no, don't come near Twin Peaks.
Well, sure. Holy shit, that little minute trailer really reminds me of the first episode of Twin Peaks. All the elements, they're in the high school.
Including the abs?
Someone dies. There's one or two characters that they threw into Twin Peaks sort of as like the hunky guys.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
a little bit. Not quite on that level.
Okay.
But, I mean, I don't know where they're going with this. If I have to assume this was inspired at least some portion by Twin Peaks.
I think it's the Archie characters in a murder mystery.
Yeah.
I think that was the elevator pitch, right?
Yeah. And Twin Peaks, at least at its core, is a murder mystery, right?
Yeah.
At least to start.
Yeah.
So, my interest in watching this Riverdale show was pretty minimal before seeing the trailer, but I admit it, Toby, you were like, yep, this is CW as hell.
Oh, dude, there were so many abs.
Yeah,
It reminds me how fat I am, really. I wish I had those abs. But yeah, it looks cool, though. Besides the multiple abs, I mean, Stephen Amell would fit right in. He would fit right in. Let him do the salmon ladder right in Riverdale.
To me, most of the time when I'm watching a trailer based on a comic book property, I kind of look for that spark of recognition of there's so-and-so, there was no character in this that immediately kind of felt like it came from Riverdale.
Well, I think the main guy looks like a real-life Archie.
Yeah, he does look like Archie to me, and I can recognize Veronica. I was waiting for Jughead the entire time. I'm like, let me see the fucking crown. I want to see the fucking crown.
Well, there's just gonna be some stoner or something.
No, I want like Jughead. Like he could be like fucking like a Luke Perry version of like but I want the fucking crown.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He'll walk in the first episode with like a Burger King
That's
Kids
fine.
Club crown and then just take it off.
That's fine. I just want to see the fucking crown. Let me show me the crown.
Funny. But yeah, so I know apparently Legends is moving to Tuesdays, I believe, after Flash.
What?
I heard something about this.
What's Legends?
Legends tomorrow.
Legends.
Oh.
So I don't know if they've given a date yet for Riverdale, but it sounds like it's going to be in that same block of comic.
It's probably coming mid-season along with
think so.
100, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll probably maybe do that back-to-back.
Oh, is Hunter coming back?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know it was coming back as mid-season. I know.
Oh, it's always mid-season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know. iZombie's coming back as a mid-season too.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. No, the 100's a shorter season. They're 13 episode seasons.
Yeah. Cool. If you go back a couple years, I was very surprised that half the shows I was watching was on the Sci-Fi Network. Now you could say I'm very surprised that half the shows I watch are on CW.
At least the people are very beautiful.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Yeah. I'm not expecting it. So, Charlie, I know you've been watching a little bit of this. There's been a lot of clips up, but I guess a more official trailer came out for Justice League Action. This is the new animated series. But there's been clips all over the place the last few weeks. It's not Justice League Unlimited, but it looks good.
Oh, it
seems like a spiritual
looks
successor.
amazing. Yeah. I guess the only thing that I'm super curious about is how the new format's going to work for sort of storytelling purposes.
It kind of feels like Justice League Unlimited, sort of episodic, but with that sort of there is a thread in the background.
I don't know. So far, my favorite clip has been the Joker on Warworld. That's the best clip.
Well, DC has had, for the most part, some real good success with their animated series. I know a lot of people hate Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans Go is hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, but nobody argues whether or not Teen Titans Go has been a success, though.
Oh, it's a huge hit. But we're getting that, plus we're getting Young Justice back.
Yeah.
Plus this sort of, like you said, spiritual successor to Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
Do we know if Young Justice is going to be where at this point?
I don't think they announced it officially. Yeah. I would assume Netflix, because that was the whole deal.
Yeah.
What's his face? Greg Weisman said.
Well, there was a big campaign triggered by Netflix.
Yeah, didn't Greg Weisman basically come out and say, if it's successful on Netflix, we can look at doing more?
Yeah.
I think it was Weisman that said that.
Yeah. So. Well, Weisman is pushing really, really hard for that.
Yep.
And it must have done really well on Netflix. So,
a lot of supporters were just
Well, we've seen it. God, it feels like, again, if half the shows I watch are on CW, the other half are on Netflix now, right? Like,
hell yeah.
I guess I have a couple holdouts on Fox, but that's about it.
As long as they're good, hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. I don't care where they are.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, Justice League. So I didn't really get into the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon. I watched an episode or two, but...
Oh, I think my friend Becky is working on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I think
like most of the Marvel cartoons, I find it's a little subpar.
I don't know.
See those backgrounds.
Well, it's just, they're so kiddie. And the problem is, they do such a good job with Rebels.
Every once in a while, they'll do something in the cartoons that I'll be like... That was worth doing. Like, I like the little Spider-Verse thing they did in their Spider-Man show. Like, I could actually watch that, and I was fine. And a lot of that was sort of the fun of playing around with the different styles. Like, when they went to the 2099 universe and that, it was all CGI.
But do they actually... Because I watched the first couple episodes of Ultimate Spider-Man. I thought it was garbage.
Oh, it was...
Do they actually, like, fix that show as it goes on?
Somewhat, yes. I mean, they added some larger story arcs, and like the Spider-Verse stuff I enjoyed. That was good.
Did they aim it at anyone over 8 years old?
The biggest problem I have with the show...
So that's a no.
And it actually kind of highlights very well the whole Civil War kind of thing, is they turned Iron Spider into a regular part of that show. They have tons of toys and stuff all around Iron Spider because of the show.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of that on that show where they are propping up a lot of stuff in terms of what can we potentially sell to kids by adding to the show. And as I said, there's aspects to it that I like. I really like the Spider-Verse story. I really like the fact that they are putting some effort into arcs, but in general, it's not I sit down and watch the entire arc. It's more of my kids are watching this particular arc, and I go, that was actually worth watching. Nothing else has been, but that was actually worth watching.
Well, it baffles me because you have I mean, at the end of the day, maybe the super kiddie shows are just the most successful, and the toy because of the toy sales,
pushing out massive amounts of toys.
Right,
the way they're marketing the Marvel shows is being very successful.
Yeah,
because they're definitely moving a lot of Spider-Man toys because of it.
Sure, I mean, and so at the end of the day, that must be what it is. It's unfortunate, though, that we can't have more things like Batman the Animated Series or Justice League Unlimited Young Justice.
But we're getting more.
Well, but also you go back to just things like Thundercats, the more recent Thundercats, or Avatar and Korra. But again, is it just that they can't find ways to properly market the?
Well, I think
toys?
they just need a different network per se, because I guarantee you if they're doing Young Justice on Netflix and Netflix is commissioning Young Justice, they're not going to care how the toy sales go. It's not like Netflix is going to make a massive amount of
ecosystem works really now.
Yeah.
I mean, for some, the toys is king, right?
Yeah.
And for some, it didn't seem to matter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here's the problem.
Cartoon Network, toys are king at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, but then Cartoon Network just lost Pokemon. It's going to Disney XD, which is crazy. It's been on Cartoon Network for
but that's not
years.
A Cartoon Network show.
No, but they've licensed it for so long.
Yeah.
Pokemon is if not the biggest.
Yeah, but they're not making the money on the toys, though.
They're probably making something.
Well, I mean, either way, I do agree
Disney's not
with
making
you.
money on it then at that point.
No.
It's ad revenue.
Yeah. Well,
I agree with you that Pokemon was probably more of this will get people onto the station to watch and get invested in some of these other shows where they go buy toys.
Maybe.
So I do think there is something to be said for
but you have
bringing the kids to the network so they stick around and buy the merchandise they do make money on.
Well, I do hope there's different genres again, right? For the longest time, it was very much like all kid shows, all humor shows.
Yeah.
And you look like Asian countries have adult cartoons, teen cartoons, girl cartoons, young kids cartoons. Like, why can't we have that here?
Well, you have shows like My Little Pony. You have Adventure Time. You have even like SpongeBob. Where these are aimed at kids, but there is a level of humor that obviously adults are into.
Yeah. And that seems to be a lot of American shows, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, right, but it baffles me that the Marvel shows have aimed at such the lowest common denominator.
So
almost across the board. The only exception was Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which was a fantastic, and then they butchered that show.
Yeah.
Well, that was prior to the whole we're going to launch a kids.
That might be the whole Disney thing going, we want a boy category, and with Marvel, we're just going to take
But I don't
boys.
see why you can't have both.
Yeah, I know. I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
I agree you can have both, but I think it kind of comes down to this whole, I'm super happy they're bringing back Samurai Jack, and I'm super happy they're bringing it back on Adult Swim, because Adult Swim's going to have different standards and what they're looking for from that show on Adult Swim, meaning if they launched a Justice League show on Adult Swim,
hell yeah.
it's obviously going to be aimed at a different audience than a Justice League show.
But look at Rebels. They did it.
Yeah.
Big with boys, big with girls, big with adults.
Oh, absolutely.
It hits all three markets.
And I'm not saying that they can't do that also with the Marvel cartoons, but
most of us got into Marvel because of the cartoons. I grew up on Spider-Man and Amazing Friends and stuff like that.
Again, that
was not as kiddie. I mean, it was, but
it was and it wasn't. To me, when the cartoons
it's not
really
as kiddie as it is now.
Different times.
Yeah.
To me, the cartoons at their height were all like the X-Men the Animated Series, the 90s Spider-Man, the Batman the Animated Series, like those are the cartoons I got heavily invested in watching.
But honestly, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends back then, before comic books, is my gateway. It was like a gateway drug, right? That
Yeah.
opened a lot of doors for me to go into like that.
And
I never even
Super
heard of the
Friends.
X-Men until the Spider-Man cartoon had
Yeah.
them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and Super Friends and all of that.
Yeah.
Definitely kind of.
I mean,
When we were
Christopher
younger-
Reeve Superman was my gateway to Superman. I mean, that, like I said, all of it.
Yeah, but that's also a little different when you get into Christopher Reeve, like the first Superman movie. What I'm kind of
Yeah.
saying is, just like the comic books, the shows evolved with me as I aged.
Sure.
I started on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and Super Friends and all that. And then as I got into the 90s, you got more like the X-Men the Animated Series where you had huge, long stuff. They added characters, but even those added characters got actual story arcs and some
The X-Men
tragedy
cartoon is
and-
fantastic.
Oh, yeah. So, like, for me, it's just, I think they're trying to start the cycle over again at Marvel, where I kind of feel like some of these other, like, I think they're more careful with the Star Wars license because they realize
There's a lot of
they have a huge built-in audience, like, just ready to go,
Well-
ready to embrace a CGI.
Well, post
Didn't
but-
they also include like the previous cartoon people? They're pleased with the new one.
Yeah,
And
but
the classic fans are pleased with the.
But to Ryan's point, if you look at the amount of Star Wars stuff they're producing at this point, they have stuff more aimed towards kids like the Freemaker Adventures, and then they have Rebels that's more,
middle.
I would say, long-term fans,
Yeah.
little bit.
But look at Marvel.
Yeah.
You have the X-Men animated series and Spider-Man in the 90s, which are obviously hits, right?
Yeah.
They tried to follow those up with a few shows that were dreadful. That Iron Man show, the Fantastic
yeah.
Four show.
Yeah.
Now, the Silver Surfer show was great,
Fantastic Four had a bunch of cool cameos,
but it
man.
only had the one season, and they axed it. They basically scrapped
Yeah.
the whole line. They tried again with that shitty CGs, like Spider-Man show that was on like MTV a
That was
couple
really
years
bad.
later. That was
Yeah.
awful.
Well, that was because they were trying to capitalize on the movie, like the
Right.
very first movie.
Right.
Or
Now,
second.
Toby,
Yeah. You gonna talk shit about Spectacular Spider-Man? Don't talk shit about Spectacular Spider-Man.
they tried again with Spectacular Spider-Man, which was not a long-term
Did
success.
you watch it? It was good. Did you
Yeah.
watch the show?
I watched like an episode or two.
Oh,
I thought it was really bad.
Screw you, Ryan Higgins.
I didn't like the character designs at all.
his cheeks.
I know, but I thought it was way too
So
off from the comics.
That cartoon was
Spectacular
really good.
Spider-Man.
I know people love it, but it did nothing for me.
It had two
Hate it,
seasons, and again, they did a very good job of having a actual story arc to play out through the seasons.
Yeah.
But then I feel like remember that weird like French Fantastic Four cartoon they had that was like. Do you remember this, Charlie?
The one that was on like Cartoon Network for a minute.
Yeah, that had like 12 episodes and they
Yeah.
got axed. That was really weird.
Yeah.
Do you remember this,
No.
Toby? It was like in like 2007 maybe or 2006.
Yeah, it was
strange.
It was really here and gone.
It was like a French production company did it.
Okay.
I believe it was French or like
I
French
didn't know
Canadian.
And then they had some like anime X-Men.
And then they did the
and-
anime, which were awful.
Yeah.
Right. And then they did the
Except for
animated
the theme song.
They did the animated movies, which were awful. And then
the Doctor Strange is pretty good, and I like the Hulkverse one.
they don't hold a candle to the DC stuff.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to name the two that I like.
I hear everyone says the Doctor Strange one is good. And then they have this new batch of cartoons which are just aimed at kids. It's like, except for Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is like, how did that get by them, or what caused them to switch?
Wait. There was an X-Men one that was fairly good.
Oh, the Wolverine and the X-Men?
Yeah.
that was good.
I never watched that.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I know
That
people
was like a
it.
spiritual successor to both the 90s X-Men cartoon and X-Men Evolution. It was kind of a weird...
Oh, X-Men Evolution, that was awful. I hated X-Men Evolution. But that's the one that X-23 came.
Ryan, you're not
came
my
from,
friend
right?
anymore.
Yes,
because those Kyle
the
Yost, those guys were on writers on the
no,
show.
I heard that one was okay, but
No, it was good. It was different. It was
Towards
good, though.
the end,
It got really
better.
good. Yeah.
yeah.
But no, it was a good one, though. But Wolverine and the X-Men, though, was...
X-Men Evolution I didn't like at all. I tried.
Well, here's the thing. Wolverine and X-Men was kind of like a weird successor to both of them, where
Right.
if you were younger and watched Evolution, that you could grow and watch that show, and if you
Yeah.
were a 90s kid, you could go into watch Wolverine and the
Yeah,
X-Men. That was a
yeah.
really good show. I like that one.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Just because you didn't watch it doesn't mean it sucked.
Oh, I
Ryan.
know. This is a long-winded way to get around to. I hope Justice League Action's good, and I hope Marvel can put out something aimed at
what
a slightly
network
more.
was Earth's Mightiest Heroes on? I don't think that
Cartoon
was
Network?
Disney.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was Disney. Yeah, it was. I think it was XD.
Maybe
I never
towards
watched
the
that
end.
because I didn't get around to art.
Maybe the second.
They had the original Avengers show that was horrible.
I kind of feel like
say
when
that
they
again?
moved.
What happened?
Oh, I couldn't get into Earth Mightiest Hero because of the art. I never dug the art for some reason.
So
I never dug the style.
Did you watch the pilot? The
I don't
pilot is all the
remember.
shorts stuck together. It's
Okay.
terrible.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I never got into
Yeah.
it. I never got into that show.
And then
It was good.
and then when they actually started the real show, it was really good. They ran all these short, like 5-minute origins, and they clipped it into like an hour-long like episode or something. And those little clips were dreadful.
Okay.
And that's why I didn't watch it when it first came out.
Yeah.
But
I
then
think I skipped it. I remember I tried, but I was like, what the fuck is everybody
I
talking
caught
about?
like a random episode, maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4 in, and I was like, "Whoa, this is really good!" And it just got better and better.
Really?
As the show went on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that first episode, it's like
Maybe I just missed the boat on that one.
yeah, it's like 4 or 5 or 8, or it's like 8
Well-
characters. They're like origins, but
Okay.
it is bad.
They also
Bad.
so for me the thing I love about that show specifically is they went crazy adapting actual like Avengers comics into
Right.
story arcs and like Captain America stories into it, and it worked really well and felt
I feel
very,
it's probably the most outside of X-Men and Spider-Man. It's probably the most faithful Marvel cartoon
Yeah.
that they've had
Really?
to the source material.
just because they mined that source material a lot.
Yeah,
Which is fine.
maybe almost a little too much, but. I mean, the X-Men and Spider-Man cartoon were like, we're literally just going to take the comics and redo these stories in an animated
Yeah.
form, which is, but they shoved everything in the kitchen sink into that X-Men, or into the Earth's Mightiest Heroes in the back season,
Well, and
especially the second and third season.
but to me, the thing that I was super, super impressed by with it is the stuff they were adapting in a lot of cases was somewhat recent. Like you had everything with Winter Soldier in that show.
Yeah, the Winter
and
Soldier
you
stuff is
had
real good.
Secret Invasion in that show. And
Yep.
like at the time, these stories were not that old.
No, they had just come out.
Nah.
Yeah, they did a good job of it was good kind of cross pollination between the comics
Yeah.
and the show.
That's cool. No, I missed the boat on that one.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of one of the things that I miss about the Marvel heavily, and I mean even the DC to a degree, and action will change this a little bit.
There
but
he is.
in terms of the animated shows, none of the animated shows really feel like any of the comics you're going to find in a comic shop right now.
Now, Bryce Larsen, as a adult with a baby or a couple babies, do they watch any of these Marvel animated series? Do you let them watch any of these Marvel animated series?
Martha.
What?
No, not yet. I will. We're keeping them on like the PBS stuff for now. The like Octonauts and
Do you buy your child toys from like those weird educational toy centers?
does Target count? So, dude, I cannot tell you how much I love my wife. Every day I come home and there's a new box from Amazon.com or Target Online. And I don't even know what she gets them. We have stuff new from them. So, but to kind of more answer your question, she not necessarily educational toys, but she gets like she prefers like wooden toys over the plastic toys.
That's educational toys.
The Doug and
Doug and Linda.
no, it's not Doug and Linda.
Yeah.
It's Doug and it's some
Doug and Mary? I think it's Doug and Linda.
No, I don't think it's
Anyway, yeah, I mean, they're not like quote unquote educational, but it's like, oh, we're too good for plastic. We gotta, have this pony be wooden and this house be wooden because it is a higher quality for sure. But anyway, I wouldn't.
Doug and Melissa.
Yes, oh, well played. Yes, that's it. Doug and Linda are my aunt and uncle. That's weird.
I'm kind of enjoying the fact that you guys are naming shit. Well, Octonauts I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But these other ones I'm like, it's nice that my kids are old enough now that I have no clue the shows you guys are naming.
No, you probably know and love
like-
Wildcrats.
Wildcrats. Nope. Curious George.
What? They're superheroes on PBS. Like, how could you not know that?
Charlie watches real stuff, not the knockoff shit.
No, when my
Wildcrats-
kids were watching
Doctor
stuff on
Who, when they
PBS,
were two.
they got very into like Super Y and some of those others,
So, yeah, we haven't
which
picked up
was
on some
fine.
why.
And then like early morning Disney stuff,
Dude,
my kids were
just
into
put your
for a
kid
while.
down, put on the Spawn Blu-ray from the animated series. Just be like, here, have at it. Here's the real world, kid, and just walk away.
Yeah. I put on Basic Instinct and walked out of the room.
Yeah, I'd be the worst parent ever. I'd be like, I'm not watching this bullshit. Here, watch good stuff.
Yeah.
Just crap
Well,
out of my face.
that's why I'm very, very happy. I have all my DVDs of Batman the Animated Series, and all my kids got inducted into that stuff very early on.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're talking about, but yeah.
You should show your kid Doctor Who. That's what we were talking about.
We were talking about how Justice League Action is going to be great because it's from DC, and all the Marvel animated series are garbage because they're from Marvel.
That's actually true.
Yeah, it's kinda true.
It's really a shame.
But you were actually literally like the most perfect timing of all because we were just about to move on to our next topic unless you wanted to add to...
No, it's...
Please don't. They've been talking about this cartoon shit. I went out and had a cigarette.
I'm already bored. I just got here.
So if you want to be bored some more, let's talk about the X-Men creative teams that just got announced. Half of the X-Men books. Yeah. We got 3 of the 6 creative teams, characters, and I'm sure by the end of this week we'll know everything. But
wait, 3 of the 6?
Yeah.
I thought everything was released.
No. They just announced creative teams and full info on these, including X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold, and Iceman.
What are the other 3 that we don't have?
Jean Grey, Cyclops. No, Jean Grey, Weapon X, and Cable. We don't know those yet.
Cable.
Yeah.
Solo show, huh? Yeah. Or solo title. I like that. I like it more than Charlie.
I will like it more when I know the creative team.
I'll like it either way.
I'm very scared
because I'm a bigger fan.
I'm scared.
Not as scared as Mr. Higgins, who's posting like a troll on Facebook.
To me, all it really comes down to is I don't want them to make Cable unreadable again.
Hey, Charlie, tell us who you don't want on Cable, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow when they announce it.
Is it tomorrow they're announcing it?
I don't know, but last week on the podcast, Charlie was like, "Oh, man, just as long as it's anyone but Cullen Bunn or something like that."
No, that's not what he said last week.
That's pretty much what he said.
I don't think that's what he
said I don't want Cullen Bunn because he tends to go supernatural in every book he writes. Yeah. At least every book that I've read that he writes.
Is that what you said in response to me liking Uncanny last week? I don't remember exactly
I remember you saying Uncanny is one of the better books, and
second best X book.
I'm a little bit behind, so I don't know, but I do have some recollection of what they were doing with magic in that book. Any event,
so Marvel,
magic.
Magic.
Hold on. She's an extraordinary X-Men. Yeah. Why do I know this?
I don't know. I can't keep track of anything anymore.
Extraordinary is the second worst.
Any event.
So Marvel is draining the X-Men swamp just as much as our president-elect is draining the swamp in DC. So we have X-Men Gold written by Mark Guggenheim, who I am very mediocre on his comic work. His previous X-Men arc has been was very not great, and his comic work for Arrow and a few others were also not the best. With art by Adrian Syaf, who I really like. This is going to be X-Men Gold is Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Old Man Logan, so not bringing back Wolverine, Rachel Gray, and Kitty Pryde, who's going to be the team leader. This is basically the same creative team that's in an Extraordinary X-Men right now, for the most part. I think just minus magic, right?
Yeah,
so
magic.
Is this Wolverine thing going to be one of those things where you and Brock were trolling so hard on, until they bring Wolverine back in 4 months, and it's going to be like Jean Grey, where
it's like that decade.
It's going to be like a decade later, and you're like, oh yeah, that's not going to last.
No, so they killed off Cyclops last week, and I'm like,
whoa, spoiler!
Well, whatever, it doesn't matter. They really didn't. I don't know. I haven't read a fucking issue for you. They killed off months ago.
Oh, I'm ready to talk about that.
But yeah, so it's like, I'm ready for the Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Wolverine right now to be in a real X-Men team. Like, just do it because we get this. I mean, I like these characters, but this is going to be. I mean, how is this book going to be any different than the Extraordinary X-Men title going on right now?
Yeah, I said on the Facebook group that I was 50-50. I mean, my thing is that, like, if they're going to have the balls to retitle them X-Men Blue and Gold, that harkens at a very specific image in everybody's mind.
This has nothing to do with it.
And it is absolutely totally non sequitur.
Have you not read
Is
Marvel
it sequitur or
books
sequitur? Sequitur. That's right, sorry.
X-Men Blue, written by Cullen Bunn, with art by Jorge Molina. Funny enough, when I was pitching artists and writers that I wanted on these titles, one of the people I said was John Cassidy, who was writing who was the artist on the first half of Star Wars. Jorge Molina was the replacement for Cassidy on the more recent issues of Star Wars.
Wait. Do we have one of his books so I can see what his art looks like?
He's fine.
It's okay.
Well, you like Frank Quitely, so I'm not. You have no credibility for artists for me.
Slightly less
collagen-y than Quitely?
He's slightly less dark than this guy that did all the Avengers stuff with Bendis, all the new Avengers. Real hashy.
I'm
blanking on his name now.
Yeah,
Mike Diodato. Less.
I wasn't going to say him.
Quite to that level.
I was going to say Gundam Boy. What's his name?
Gundam.
the guy that loves Gundam. He's got a new title coming out. Fuck me. I'll think about it in a second.
Yeah, not as dark as his stuff. But yeah, Charlie or Toby, hand Bryce the.
It's behind Toby.
There should be a Star Wars issue back there. And but again, in X-Men
That's
Blue,
Vader. You need to go to farther left. It's behind Toby.
X-Men Blue is
I can't reach that far.
Angel, Cyclops, Beast, Iceman, and Jean Grey, but the kid versions from All New X-Men with Magneto as a team leader. So all that is just another version of All New X-Men. Another book that has fallen off the rails the last 3 times they've tried it. So
I'm just tired of them naming things for namesake and backing
like,
it up.
Right, these names are
Like
pointless.
you're wasting him. You're
right.
wasting these names at this point.
Yeah, they mean nothing.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it brings us back. I mean, that was the heyday of X-Men and Uncanny X-Men.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you
you're
had
wasting it. You're absolutely wasting
Yeah.
it.
And they did that
You already
with...
wasted it with 92.
Yeah.
Oh,
was
yeah.
very bad.
Which is
yeah,
the
that was
worst comic.
terrible. Death of
Yeah.
X was totally misleading title. Well, for the most part. The Days of Future Present, or no, Days of Future, whatever it was, that arc that was, I mean, it was a couple years back now, but that too, like, they've just had so many cock block, like, fake out
Civil War II.
titles. What?
It's pretty bad.
It's not bad.
It's
Well,
following the
Civil
same
War II
release
is turned into
schedule.
like
It's not misleading.
Wait,
though.
I thought we were talking about X books. Are we talking about all Marvel? Because,
Civil
by the
War
way, Civil
II
War II is good.
Civil War II is pretty misleading at the end of the day. It's just a small superhero fight. Civil War had some pretty major ramifications. This is not turning out to be quite the same. It's like 2 fight scenes.
Right, but this has... you just majorly segued. Are we still talking about X-Men? You just like
Let's
totally-
stay on X-Men. And let
Yeah.
me just say, I don't want Loa writing Cable again.
Oh.
That's what I don't want.
So we're gonna get
Fabian
low on
Necesia announced.
Be awesome.
That'd be so awesome. I would take that with almost any artist. Oh, speaking of art, how bad is the art of Death of X? Can we talk about that?
really bad.
It is
Yeah, it's bad.
so bad. How could they do this?
Well, they just realized the book was going to be bad, so they're just like, just give it bad art too.
I actually
You haven't
liked
read issue 4, right?
I did read issue 4, and I actually liked it. But the art was so bad, it made me want to pull out a Frank Quitely book. It was killing me.
To cleanse your
I didn't love it, but I did like it. I was like, oh, that's a good way to go. And then there's a twist at the end. Like, I liked that. But man, that art made me want to put a gun in my mouth. So yeah,
Charlie, your Death of X.
To me, what it kind of comes down to is it still feels like it should have just been a one-shot,
Yeah, totally.
80-page
100%.
issue.
Yeah, I agree.
With
The first
special?
3 issues, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Except terrible art, like drawn out, protracted
what's-
writing for
Yeah.
the sake of nothing.
I think what's funny is you could probably take issue 1, a few pages from 2 and 3, and cut out a fair amount of 4 and put it all together.
Well, Death of X
I don't know. There's
should have been 1 issue, and it should have been the first issue of Inhumans vs. X-Men.
Yeah.
And the 0 issue that's coming out this week should not have been published, because it's just basically, yep, here, let's recap Death of X.
yeah, the 0 issue is going to be what
It's going to be a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. No, but I mean, you know that they did it because they're like, look, we'll just make way more money
Yeah,
if
of
we do
course,
it
of
like
course.
times 4 issues with a name like Death of X. They're going to just
Yeah.
sell more units. And
But I don't think it's sold that many more units.
Did the only issue 1 hit the top 10, right?
I don't even think 1 hit it.
Oh,
No,
geez.
it was pretty low.
so I'm just saying that yes, it should have been a single issue, but they probably ended up making more money in the bean counters.
Yeah,
That's
of
all they
course,
care
of
about.
course,
So unfortunately,
They got your money.
what it came down to. Yeah, and I'll give them money every time, but I'll be more in love with the universe if they do it right, and still give them money.
Well, we also have Iceman, written by Sina Grace. I'm not familiar with her. With interior art from Alessandro Vitti, who did Secret Warriors. And
The main series?
you got me. Just reading what it says. I'm not familiar with the artist either. And, there's no way to really go around this. One of the major points of the book is going to be about his sexuality and how that affects the character, which is maybe one of the worst stories, I think, published in this decade. Making Iceman gay in just one of the most. I have absolutely no problem with characters being gay.
Exactly.
But the way they made him, I guess I'm gay now because my younger self was mind read by Jean Grey, and she said that you're gay, so that means I'm gay now too.
It's conversion
what?
therapy, right? They're just in the opposite direction.
I guess it's like I don't know how people weren't like horribly offended by this comic because it is.
Me neither.
It is.
And you got
really bad.
You got a tweet from a fan of the new Iceman book, and I just don't understand how that's I guess appreciated, that it's like, oh, we're just going to sort of retcon / shoehorn in this characteristic or aspect of the character is more accurate. I don't know, man.
So wait a sec. So let me get this. So to simplify, Jean Grey told him he likes dick.
Wow.
Sure.
Okay.
So I think that I guess Iceman has way more brand recognition, so that's probably why. But like North Star, I think is a great gay character that has always been gay throughout his whole like career. If they're going for that, I guess. I'm not sure if it's that audience, that demographic. I'm not sure, what the ultimate goal is, but I have to assume that's part of it. Well, headlines, but they could have got the headlines with having a North Star book.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just as powerful as Iceman.
No, but I think they made more headlines when they first announced Iceman was gay than you would have gotten. Because, I mean, that made all sorts of news when they first did the
reveal. Like Marvel does a
and
lot of things just to get headlines done.
Well, if
for
they,
a long time now.
Look, they had Secret Wars. If they said, look, we're going to take Iceman from this alternate reality where he's gay and we're going to bring him into the Marvel Universe, I would have been like, okay,
absolutely.
whatever.
Exactly.
Right?
I totally agree.
But I feel like the fact that he's been, I guess, a closeted bisexual for 50 years is a really strange...
See, that's another thing, is that they say that he's gay, not that he's bisexual, when he's had, like, relations with a lot of females over the years, and he's been allegedly straight for the past, 60 years?
Well, the thing is,
it's like, oh, no, I'm gay. It's like, well, no, I mean, if anything, you're bisexual,
right.
But what?
But he's the one that's dated Mystique.
Right.
So it's easy to say, oh, well, Mystique could turn into whatever the fuck he wanted.
What? No.
Just don't go there, Brock.
They went there.
They didn't, though, Brock.
No.
Anyway.
No, I agree that it's one of those things of alternate realities, it's acceptable. New characters, sure, make them whatever sexuality you want. I'm not into this retcon for headlines.
Wasn't it Bendis doing the book when he started dating Kitty Pryde that was like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And then Bendis also did all new X-Men a year later and made him gay? It's like, Bendis, what the fuck? Man,
well, we know Bendis loves Kitty Pryde, so maybe there's a little that's like one of his characters. So.
That's why Star-Lord is dating Kitty Pryde.
Exactly. Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know, man. I hate the shoe. I've said this so many podcasts. I hate the shoehorning in of storylines, and I especially hate the fact that I also hate retconning, and this is bullshit. But whatever. It is what it is.
Well, look, let's be honest. An ongoing X-Men comic is going to sell for 12 or 18 issues. Gay, straight, black, white, mutant, inhuman, it doesn't matter.
That's why I'm saying they should the North Star. It's still an X-related mutant. He's been gay the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, just I think at the end of the day, a Iceman and this Jean Grey comic are going to be extremely short-lived. They're unlikely to last in any sort of capacity. I'm not trying to say the book's going to be good or bad, but the market has never supported solo X-Men characters outside of Wolverine and Cable to a degree. So, these are...
and Gambit Bishop.
These are tough... Gambit and Bishop have had constant start-stop series that never lasted.
Yeah, they're always on that fringe.
Gambit had a nice run a couple times.
Yeah. Actually, sort of like Deadpool. Deadpool was on that same bubble, and then Deadpool
his own thing.
Yeah.
No. But he was right there with Gambit in terms of starts and stops.
Yeah.
But then Deadpool took off,
Yeah.
and Gambit never has until Channing Tatum gets on the screen, maybe. But Magneto's another fringe character. He's had a ton of starts and stops.
going back to the X-Men Blue and Gold, so Magneto is going to be running that team of the all new X-Men.
The younger.
Yeah, going back to the classic New Mutant stuff. But like,
I don't know.
Why don't they make those kids the New Mutants and bring in the real characters back, or why don't they do something else? Like, I don't know why they're like, we can't have
them around.
We can't have Jean Grey, Cyclops, and the original toys, so we're going to have these filler characters take their place. And I thought the all new X-Men arc was interesting when Bendis introduced these characters.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, you got me for 15, 20 issues, and now it's time for these characters to go back, and they just kept hanging out, and the end of all new X-Men was pretty bad. There was like the multiple time travel groups from other dimensions coming in, and I was like, I don't know where you're going with this.
Yeah,
And
That's okay.
The
Ultimates at some point will fix all this.
Yeah,
that's
hopefully.
Bagley's fault that the new book is awful. By the way, not whoever's writing it. Hopeless? Is it hopeless? Pun not intended.
Neither are very good.
So I'm 50-50 on that. I like how I agree that it would have been a nice elegant curtailing of the series to send them on their way. It would have wrapped up the story really well. But the way that they have it now, they now have an excuse, because like, I don't even know what they're doing with Blue Furry Beast. Like, what has he done recently other than go crazy? They said that at the beginning of that all new
X-Men,
X-Men,
with the Inhumans.
No, I know where he is, and I know what he's been doing. But at the beginning of that all new X-Men arc, when they introduced him, do you remember him saying something like, or was it Uncanny 700 where I had my major rant about? Like, he said he was dying or something like that, and this was like his last chance to do anything.
Yeah, I don't think they ever followed up on that.
Do you remember that though? I'm pretty sure he said he was dying, and it's like, then they just sort of shuffled him off to the side, and he's working with the Inhumans. When it's like, by the way, you guys like have this Mpox cloud that's going around killing a ton of mutants. Beast has allegedly been working on it for over a year now, and
Isn't
then
that why
4 issues of Death of X solve it. Oh, we have transmog fucking mutant.
Well, look, you have Jean Grey's gone, Cyclops is gone. Beast has been basically MIA since the end of Secret Wars.
Thank you.
Angel has been on and off. He was Archangel in Uncanny X-Men.
Well, if you read
and
Cullen Bunn's excellent Uncanny X-Men story, you'll know what's going on with Archangel.
But
to your point, in a much more succinct manner, my point that I was eventually going to get to, believe it or not, is that 4 out of the 5 original X-Men are like, MIA or gone in some capacity. So it's sort of a nice way for them to bring in these fresh versions, so you can still have stories with the fresh versions and still have had those other stories count. For better or for worse.
I guess for me, and this is just the whole time travel fun stuff, is I'd like them to establish that with the recreation of the universe, or with something, they are now anomalies outside of the original time. Like, I don't really want the young X-Men to go back to the past anymore. Like, I feel like that ship has sailed, meaning there is no...
Well, yes and no. They could do that in, like, a single panel at the end of the run. Like, they can always... Beast fix the time portal. Professor X mind wipes them.
I would rather, with the end of Secret Wars and all of that, with the universe rebooting, have them be anomalies where their past selves are still there. There's no reason to send them back.
Yeah, well, that's a great point. I think that they could have done a lot with Secret Wars, too,
I'm just saying in general, with the way they've broken time, broken the universe, broken every which way that they've established within the Marvel Universe, when they were here for a finite amount of time, when they wouldn't have aged for years.
Yeah.
I just think in general at this point, I don't mind if they go forward with these characters as sort of the new normal, growing old, as a potential way to say, look, we really fucked up the Cyclops character. This is our kind of fresh start for him.
I don't know. I think that they made Cyclops awesome.
Cyclops was a kid for like 12 issues in Uncanny X and in X-Men when it launched in the 60s. I mean, he's never been this age that any of us have cared about comics. Just like Peter Parker. Peter Parker has not been a kid since like the mid 60s.
I agree with you that I would like them to get out of this age group. But that being said, I don't necessarily think you have to send these ones back. I think they just need to do the traditional, well, the universe jumped forward 5 years, and now they're
That's not
a little
traditional.
more.
That's just DC, Charlie.
Everybody does it.
Get out of
It's
here.
the current-
Everybody does
It's
it.
the current
No,
Superman.
not well.
Come on, you're a parent now. You blink and like 5 years go by.
Dude, don't start talking to me about that. I'm going to start crying. It's fucking so scary. It's crazy.
I'm gonna have a 6-year-old.
But so
crazy.
I mean, do people care about these characters the way they care about the real characters? They will always be imposters.
Yeah, but you can't answer that for another fucking decade or two. Like, I mean,
When did they launch that book? Like 2012? The all new X-Men?
I mean, it's so tough because, like, when we grew up with comic books is not the way kids are growing up with comic books now. Like, it's an amalgamous subject. We're not going to be able to answer that. You can't get to the bottom of it on the fucking podcast now.
Yeah, you want to talk about kids and comic books? Would you actually know what Connor's favorite comic book from the DC Rebirth line is?
What's that?
Connor, is that Toby's kid?
New Superman.
That's cool.
New Superman.
I mean,
Toby's confused.
Chinese Superman?
Yes.
Why?
That's just his favorite book. And
Is it
If he
because
wants
he
to
was
read
the bad
that,
guy
he
in
wants
Mulan,
to-
now he likes Chinese people?
He likes
He's
saying
like,
he likes saying
that Superman makes sense to me.
he likes saying that because
No,
it reminds him
I
of
just-
Charlie, and Charlie gets so angry at home.
No, I think
no, I think it's great. I think it's awesome that there's a market for that book. And
Sure.
we're always talking about
It's your son.
how books don't necessarily put out books like Miss Marvel for me and New Superman for me because I don't have any attachment to those characters. So the fact that my son loves that book kind of tells me there is a market for new characters without all the history and baggage and everything, and I'm kind of hoping he keeps up with it because of that.
Yeah, but it's tricky though, right?
Book
Like,
will not keep up with him, though, is the problem.
Yeah, the book will get canceled before.
Yeah, and you're going to have to deal with the tears.
But my point basically is the fact that regardless of how these may not be our characters, hopefully there's somebody's.
yeah, but
well, this was my entire point on multiple episodes here, as well as on the off-panel podcast that I did that was up a few weeks ago. You can have both. That's the genius of comic books. You can have Wally West, classic Wally West, and Black Wally West from the Flash TV show in the comics at the same time. There's no reason Jean Grey, Cyclops, Iceman, Beast, and Angel can't be both their original versions and the kids in the same line if they really want to. And you don't have to have like Ultimates or anything like that. You can just have these characters around. There's no reason you can't have both. And by limiting...
I agree with you. There's no reason you can't have both. But I kind of feel like they've twisted a lot of these characters so out of shape of what they were originally to me.
But you could return them to classic in a page.
I hope
Wolverine will break
Okay,
out his
let me put it
statue
this
and
way.
bring Marvel back.
Jeff Johns could return them to classic in a page.
Sure.
I'm not sure
troll.
anybody else. Well, no, it's true. I don't know
yeah,
anybody.
it's true, but it's not
else.
only true about Johns.
No, but name me
going.
another writer that you have
keep
the
going, keep going,
history
keep going,
that
keep going.
has a talent for acknowledging the stuff that happened while returning them back to a
I mean,
classic
for all his
feel.
faults, Bendis could do it.
If Bendis did Marvel Rebirth, Jessica Jones and Spider, what's her face? Spider Drew would be like the founding
Spider Woman.
Yeah, the founding
Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, that would be
Gold Balls.
would be the founding comic founders for Marvel. So.
Yeah, get out of here, Bendis. Go home. You're drunk.
But that's just my thing. I would love it to happen, but it's that whole thing of I don't really care if they bring back the old Cyclops at this point because, as you said, I'm attached to the 90s Cyclops. I'm not attached to the 2005 on Cyclops we've had.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they get that because Jean Grey is like getting there. Cyclops is getting there. Iceman, I just don't think is getting there. Beast, I don't think is getting there. And Angel, I don't think is either. I mean, they really are only... I mean, it's almost not... Like, they're almost just not developing Iceman. They're just like, oh, he's gay. That's his thing. That's like,
Well,
Yeah.
here's the problem. Why do you have old school Icemen and young Icemen if they're the same character now?
and what the fuck happened? Do you guys
So you
remember
have
when
just two
Iceman
ice
became like an
groups.
old ice wizard? Like, how fucking awesome was that? Like, that was awesome. Like, how has that not come back
Remember
up?
when Mystique urinated Iceman back out? That was good times. Was it Mystique? I think
What
it
the
was Mystique.
fuck?
That was during one of the really bad early 2000s
I think
comics.
this was during a Wet Dream of
the
yours.
follow-up to Morrison's run by that really terrible writer who's been banished from the comic industry, whose name is escaping me.
Austin?
Chuck Austin, yeah.
He was the fucking worst.
Yeah, he was.
Tell me that he was responsible for Mystique urinating Iceman out.
Someone like ate Iceman and like urinated him back out or something like that.
Was it the Blob?
No, for some reason I had it in my head it was Mystique, but I don't
I mean,
remember.
Chuck Austin was bad, dude, but that sounds way more like a Morrison fucking storyline.
No,
You're
no,
probably
no.
getting that wrong.
No,
you probably just are like, it couldn't have been Morrison.
No.
Drawn by Frank Quietly.
Well, Toby, what
She's
you're
all
saying
chubby, peeing out Iceman.
what you're saying was why do they have both, right? Why do they have
Yeah,
both?
well,
Icemen?
I don't understand it, right? So if they have young Icemen be gay and old Icemen be gay, also they're the same character. You have two guys in just different age groups at this point.
Well, that's what
Why?
they're doing. Right, there's Beast, there's Young Beast and Old Beast. Old Beast is blue, Young Beast is classic
So they're
Beast.
just having two different age group. They're the same. I don't know. There's
Well, also, hasn't it not even been... Has it been established that old Iceman is gay?
Yes.
yeah. That's what
I
we've
thought
been
that they
talking
were like
about.
waffling on that, though.
No, they established it.
No, he's like, well, if
unfortunately.
you're gay, I must be gay.
Right, but
And
I thought
now-
there was some waffling on that.
Did you read the description on the new Iceman book?
No. Is the new Iceman book Old Iceman or Young Iceman?
Sure. I think I'm assuming it's Old Iceman.
You're assuming, so you have absolutely no idea, because you know what happens when you assume things.
I'm
is that you think
pretty
DC is
sure.
better.
I'm pretty sure it's Old Iceman. It doesn't say it's the kid, so I assume it's the old one.
Or is the title actually? Did you misread it? Is it the title Ice Men? It's both of them.
It's like Wolverines.
Yeah,
It'll be
except
weekly.
less bad or more bad.
It'll just be young.
kid-
And, it'll
kid-
just be young and
kid be-
old going to the gay clubs.
Can't be worse.
Book about Iceman. I don't know, man.
Well, we got a couple questions here. Oh, there's actually a good follow-up here. This is from JPM. Asks, who do you choose for members of the new Generation X book that's coming out?
What?
Since I'm sure they're going to announce that any day now. Oh, yeah, that was the other book we didn't mention. Yeah, Generation X is the other one.
Yeah, conveniently
Wait, didn't I?
skipped.
No,
what
you
the
didn't.
fuck? That's awesome.
No, you didn't mention it.
Oh, okay.
You did not. That's awesome.
Well, they announced this stuff months ago, or a month ago.
is Bocello doing the art?
They haven't announced it.
Oh, tell me he's doing the art.
So I never got into any of the Generation X stuff.
man.
I read them, but like I have no lost love for M or Empath or Skin or any of
Husk.
those guys. Husk, was that the name? Husk? Skin was Skin.
Jubilee's an irreverent teenager. How did you not love her? You love
Well, I
her.
like Jubilee
Get out of
prior,
here. Get
but
out of
yeah.
here.
Well, you also don't like Sugar Man.
No, Sugarman's terrible.
I just think that you just hated the 90s.
Kinda. I mean, no, I just hate Sugarman. I mean, I did not.
Well,
like,
you said you have no love lost for Generation X.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were
look,
fine,
Generation X was sort of polarizing audiences on whether or not they liked Chris Bocello's art. Like,
Yeah.
that is pretty polarizing art. You either
Well, I
love that or you're like, what the fuck
I
is
love
this
Bocello's
sloppy
art
mess?
5 years earlier when he was working for Vertigo, and then when he launched Generation X, I was like, whoa, this
No.
is not the same guy.
Bocello's art is fucking incredible, especially Doctor Strange. Fuck, I'm like 3 issues behind on Doctor Strange.
But do Generation? So why don't they move the kids into Generation X? Put the X-Men kids, Jubilee.
Dude,
and,
by the way, don't ask me why. Marvel would be in a much better place if I was running Marvel. I would have that shit sewn up. All those kids would be either new X-Men or New Mutants or Generation X.
I don't want you running it.
Oh, I'm running it all,
Everything
baby.
will be
I'm running it all. Oh.
Everything X-Men.
I'm going to post a list tomorrow on Facebook.
Isn't M
Captain
like
America X-Men?
Isn't M like
No, wait, what? No.
Isn't M like 35 now in Uncanny X-Men?
Oh,
Although the Greg Land.
I don't know how old she is, but she's a fucking 35 out of 10 to me, man.
Yeah, I mean they're not drawing her like a teenager or anything in that book. But I don't know if they
was she ever a
ate-
teenager? I mean, I don't really remember. It was the 90s.
What's her stupid brother's name?
Oh,
Her super brother is Empath, dude.
Yeah, Empath. Okay.
Yeah, he's in. You keep saying these things that you would know if you were actually reading Uncanny
I've
X-Men.
read every issue of the current
You
series.
keep saying you're reading them, but you still don't know these things that are happening currently. By the way, how
I will
fucking...
throw it out in the gauntlet. I have read every issue of Uncanny X-Men ever published. There you go.
Well, you don't fucking remember any of it, so I'm not really sure how much that counts.
or how much that says about.
No, what do
remembering.
you mean? They took back the Brotherhood, not the Brotherhood. They took back the thing with they had the babies
You
running
guys should
through.
see
The
Charlie's
Murlocs?
literally belly laughing
They
right
had the
now.
baby
at Higgins.
Hellfire
He's
Club?
like,
Yeah, they had the
he
baby
cannot
Hell-
contain himself.
Yeah, they retconned the Baby Hellfire Club just out of continuity. Thank God, the real Hellfire
Dude,
Club.
the fucking Baby Hellfire Club was awesome. That was
No.
Jason Aaron. That was fucking great.
that was really bad.
You love Jason Aaron, and you love Irreverent Babies. You loved the Irreverent Baby Hellfire Club by Jason Aaron.
No,
They were fucking great, dude.
they were okay for a
Stop
time.
hating.
But
What the fuck was wrong with them?
they were annoying.
They introduced a whole new generation of Hellfire Club badasses.
There was that awful
You
arc with,
love
like,
irreverent teenagers. What the fuck?
Frankenstein.
Why did you not like them?
It was
What did you not like about them? Because they weren't fucking DC?
The joke got old. Like, I just didn't like it. They had that whole arc with Frankenstein that was really bad.
That was bad. I'm on record on this podcast as saying that was bad. But I'm also on
The
record
first
on
arc
the
of, like-
podcast as saying that Jason Aaron's Wolverine and the X-Men run was like great story, bad story, great story, bad story.
Right.
And that was, that Frankenstein one was bad. But his fucking Hellfire Club was awesome. Like, those kids were just, you love to hate on millennials. They're just fucking millennial Hellfire Club.
Anyway,
The Baby Hellfire Club came before the Aaron stuff.
no, that was
no,
that
Fuck
was
is
during-
wrong? No, that was Wolverine and the X-Men, dude. That was Jason Aaron.
No, but it came before out of what was it?
I don't think.
You mean the origin? Nobody's talking about.
Schism. They
Nobody's
were in
talking about
Schism.
the origin. Are you talking about the origin? Nobody's talking about the origin. We're talking about
Schism was Jason
when,
Aaron too.
Yeah, but that's where it started. But it wasn't.
I don't
That's what,
remember.
I don't know.
What are you
That's how
backpedaling?
memorable.
What
Anyway,
is this backpedaling?
Uncanny X-Men, the arcs had bad. They did the whole thing where they were those mutant people, those mutant killing people were trying to track down all the mutant healers.
ones?
So they killed
Yeah.
all them.
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Reavers, right? Reavers? It was the Reavers
Yeah, yeah.
that were trying to track down all the mutant healers.
No, sorry, Reavers. That was the Old Man Logan.
Not Reavers? Who
no,
was it?
it's Apocalypse's crew.
Oh, well, whatever their name is. I can't remember.
Come on, channel it with me, Charlie. Between our two facial haired faces,
And then
we
the
can-
most
has
recent
way
arc
more than
was, it was M and Empath, and they were dealing with getting back to Hellfire Club and
Dark Angel.
Angels being controlled and blah,
Yes.
blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. I read it all. Anyway, who do you want in your Generation X book? Toby, who do you want on Generation X? You're a big Gen X fan. I know you are.
Now?
No, well, I mean, you have been.
It has to be like a bunch of new kids.
The Dark Riders! The Dark Riders!
Riders,
That's Apocalypse's
Yeah.
team.
There you
You're
go.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The fucking Dark Riders.
Is that who was?
That's who was hunting down all the healers.
Okay.
Craig, Mr. Where is... What was that healer that Craig said on Facebook? Fucking... What's his name? Oh, fucking... What's his name? Bendis's healer. Because... Fucking Elixir wasn't an existing healer. He's like, oh, Bendis, fucking Bendis. He's like, oh, I'll just create another X-Men healer. It's like, we already have a triage. We already have a fucking healer. His name is Elixir.
Where's
Oh,
Shield? Where the hell is she?
Who?
Shield?
No,
Armor?
fucking Armor.
Armor.
God
Armor.
damn,
Yeah.
you are the worst. She's in the most recent issue of Uncanny... No, she's
She
not.
wasn't. Yeah, where the hell's Armor?
That would have been
Armor
funny,
was
though.
awesome.
I was thinking Shield and
Dude,
Sword.
she'll show back up the very first issue that Joss Whedon comes back to write. Like, don't
What
worry
happened to
about that.
Greenhead chick that was in Sword? What the hell's her name?
Oh, I can't think tonight. Apparently,
They kicked her out of the books a while ago. Anyway.
Wait,
They should have half of the Runaways. They should have
No,
armor. They should be...
Yeah, what happened to the Runaways?
No,
Yeah.
you're talking about Agent Brand.
Brand,
she
yeah,
shows
yeah.
up in like fucking half the. She's on that spaceship with Alpha Flight and the Ultimates. She shows up in fucking half those stories. She's on the most recent Choosing Sides, isn't she? Nobody reads it. Insert
No.
joke here. Brock or Ryan. Anyway,
When did we stop stocking that shelf copies of that?
Yeah.
you mean
Anyway.
that pile of Choosing Sides right there that's on the shelf right there. Is that the one you stopped stocking?
Generation X,
Yeah, after a certain issue.
OG or GTFO? Let's ask a question here from Keith. He says, DC adopted some CW takes in their comics, but not others yet, including Sarah Lance. Who do you want to see make the jump? I think Sarah's kind of the only big one.
Yeah.
Thea.
I don't know what they do with her, though.
I like Thea, though.
As
yeah, but they've already established the sister now.
Yeah,
and that kind
they
of stuff.
have they have the half
Emiko?
sister.
Yeah.
I like Emiko.
Yeah.
Emiko. Yeah, I think Sarah would be a cool story if they want to actually do that in Green Arrow. I think it'd be a fun one.
Yeah.
None of us got to look at the Direct Currents. There's a bunch of new DC has Direct Currents. It's a new free magazine that's coming out quarterly. There's a bunch of stuff in there for upcoming story arcs, but unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to look at that. So I will skip on to
Direct
the
Currents.
next question.
Is that a title about Black Lightning? Oh, who are ya?
I actually want a new Black Lightning book.
DC joke.
Nobody.
Wait, isn't it coming? Isn't there a new one
It's a
coming? Or is a
non-offensive
new
DC
show
joke.
coming, maybe?
There's a show.
that's
Show is
right.
supposed to be on Fox.
Oh.
It's from Joshua. It says characters that deserve a movie. It would be a unique arc or one from the comics. So what? Let's just reread this question here a little bit. What character, Marvel and DC, that have not had a movie that you think is due? Who's ready? Who's ready for the big
It is
screen?
incredible to me that Fool Killer has not had his own. No, okay, but if I'm being
No. Ambush Bug just needs to stand there.
if I'm being serious, I'm shocked that I was just looking at it. I'm sorry for the bad radio because I was actually literally just looking at it. Venom. I'm shocked that the folks at Sony have not been like, Venom is incredibly popular. Deadpool status popular. How they not figured out a way to make a Venom movie?
It was supposed to be the next one.
So that to me is my first one.
Can we pick a character that's already been on the screen but should have their own movie?
Sure.
Silver Surfer.
I think a solo surfer movie could be difficult.
Yeah,
I think they could do it, but I think it would be a little difficult.
That'd be a tough, lonely movie. It's tough because
I just remember when they were talking about doing that after the second Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
we're also like fucking running out of people that haven't had movies, which is another whole thing.
What, Solo can't have his own movie?
Oh god, don't talk to me about
Spider-Gwen
Solo.
can't have her own movie?
No, just give Power Girl her own movie.
Fucking Spider-Gwen.
So
is
many
gonna
people
have-
would go see a Power Girl movie.
Power Girl, yeah.
No, that's called a pornography, Charlie. That's a different movie.
I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but I'm very excited for the potential of a Birds of Prey / Gotham City Sirens movie.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be
that's
amazing.
The talk.
No, that wouldn't be a movie. That would be a TV show.
Well, no,
That's the talk at the new Harley movie.
Yeah.
That it's basically the kind of the female foes and heroes from Batman all in like a big girl action movie, which that could be fucking cool.
Epic Gotham City Sirens,
Yeah.
Birds of Prey crossover.
I would love that.
Color me fucking skeptical. Who else? Everybody else has had a fucking movie.
It feels like it, huh?
Do I have to go over and look at
Where's
the
my new
DC side
Warriors
of the
movie?
wall?
Yeah, your new
Hey, where's my new Warriors TV show with Squirrel Girl? God, please don't let that actually happen.
You know what? They need to fucking get their heads out of their asses and do Teen Titans or Titans.
Yeah, they really do. I'm mad that Titan show never led to anything.
Oh, yeah.
I think they were tapped out.
Has every character ever been
You
a
know
movie?
what? I if Cable shows up in Deadpool, maybe.
I mean, Deadpool 2 is Cable Deadpool, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, what I'm wondering is if Cable's well received in Deadpool 2, if Cable can get his own movie, because I think that there's enough there.
Yeah.
I don't think Squirrel Girl's enough there.
Captain Britain?
I think that.
See,
No.
I'd be a little scared if they spun off Cable, just because I'd want to make sure it wasn't a jokey movie when they made a Cable movie,
Yeah, that's
like a
fair.
solo Cable movie.
I know you'd be happy with Gwenpool, Ryan.
No, you know me.
I could see them doing a Star-Lord, except that Chris Pratt would probably never sign off on it.
Deathstroke.
Just a solo one.
Yeah.
Well, Deathstroke's going to be in Batman.
Yeah, I know, but
They would. I do not see a solo Deathstroke movie.
Okay, this is from Dr.
That would be up there with the
Razor
Magneto movie.
on Twitter.
They were supposed to, at one point in time, do a Magneto Origins.
Yeah, they
and
scrapped that, yeah.
it's disappointing that never happened.
Yeah.
That's one.
well, that kind of became First Class.
Yeah.
Batwoman?
He says, do people actually buy comics based on video games? How many does your store sell, if any? No. And none. Like, almost nothing. Every now and again, something will come out that
I hope
hits a
that
little bit.
guy's not a Patreon, because you just went fuck you to that guy.
We sold a whole bunch of copies of the Dark Souls comic that came out from Titan, and literally 2 copies of numbers 2.
How about the Super Mario comic?
Wow, back in the 90s, the Valiant one?
No,
Or
the Japanese one.
Oh, well, yeah, I sold a decent amount of those. I sold a decent
See?
amount of the Zelda graphic
See?
novels that
The
Batman's coming out with.
The Batman Arkham
Depends on the
City,
content.
Arkham Knight, Arkham...
Yeah, the
Injustice.
Arkham and the Injustice do okay.
They do okay.
But that's not... Those are
Hey, the Street Fighter at one point you sold quite a bit.
Like back in the day, yeah.
Now it's
Nothing,
garbage.
almost nothing. Well, the Arkham and Injustice comics are so just sort of like loosely based on the show.
Well, no, I'm saying
Well, they start out very basic.
Yeah, like
and then they go
Arkham
on too
City,
long.
Arkham City was really based in it. Arkham Unhinged was very based in the lure of it.
But if it's just telling the same story, I mean, I'm thinking
It
of
was
like
filling in gaps.
yeah, I'm thinking like the Mass Effect comics and all those. And
I actually dug the Tomb Raider comic back in the late 90s,
again,
early 2000s.
huge book when it came out.
Yeah, it was a great book.
I now sell one copy of the new Tomb Raider comic.
It's me, because I haven't read it yet.
This is from Aaron. He says, how can DC sustain the success of Rebirth? What should they focus on, and what should they drop in order to do so? And actually, a very similar question from our good friend Stefano.
I think that Nick Fury could headline his own movie. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. But he's already in the movies. Stefano asks a very similar question and says, now that we're well into Rebirth, any thoughts on another wave? I mean, we are getting the next 3 books, but
Yeah.
I think before past that, what would you leave? What else do you want? So, the vast majority of the books are selling very well. There are obviously some. I mean, here at our store, Blue Beetle, Cyborg, New Superman. Sorry, Charlie. Those are definitely the 3 lowest selling titles.
Sorry, Connor.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Connor.
It has not slipped my notice that those are the 3 not white characters.
Fuck you, Frank.
I don't know what to say. Right? Non-traditional characters in Marvel also don't sell well. Doesn't mean that they're not white. It just means that they're not the main characters. So, Blue Beetle, Cyborg, New Superman, those are not major characters in the DC universe. All the rest of the books are major characters, and they're selling well. So, I don't think there's much that need to go. I mean, those 3 could go. I don't expect also Batman is a permanent book. I think that's like going to run 12 issues, 18 issues or so. But past that, we're getting Super Sons, which we're very excited for. We're getting a new Batwoman book.
Are you finding me that one issue in this?
Yeah.
As in, you got it?
No, not yet, no.
Got my hopes up.
What else? There's a 3rd book coming up as part of that launch of the new titles.
We always forget one.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing one.
Well, you did the Super Sons, you did Batwoman.
Yep, I can't remember the 3rd book. Oh, JLM.
JLM.
With the very diverse, different Justice League
That's
team.
the Vixen one, right?
Yeah. Other than that,
They should have just made it Justice League Elite
Yeah.
with that team.
you need that Justice League America. You need that A in the line to sell.
I know, but it doesn't fit what I associate with JLA.
Well, Justice League is the big Earth-threatening. This is the local American team,
Yeah.
so I'm okay with it.
Well, and but the thing is like you have titles like Raven and Midnighter and Apollo and
that are outside the
Vigilante,
Rebirth line.
Six Pack and Dog Wielder. You have these
Dog welder, thank you.
Welder, sorry.
Although Dog wielder is appropriate, he also does wield the
Wield
dog,
dog,
but he
yeah.
mostly welds dogs.
I don't know.
Can I just say, Bryce, Dog welder, one of the best characters created in comics.
What the fuck comic are you talking about?
Dog welder. He's from Hitman.
What's it from?
Hitman. He welds dogs onto people.
That sounds like the most incredible thing ever.
Yep, Dog welder's amazing.
Wait, this wasn't in the Hitman that I read.
Yeah, he's part of Six Pack with Shakes, and
You mean Cable Six Pack?
no, what? And who else? Who was the other guy now? Bueno Excelente.
Wait, I read Hitman.
Yeah.
Dog Welder was in there?
Yeah. He's the guy with the welding mask and the dogs.
I'm now thinking that I didn't read that.
You didn't get to that trade because they hadn't released it yet.
I literally have it on my bedside table with the stack of shit that I've read. So I'm thinking that maybe I put that on the stack and didn't actually read it, even though I thought I did. Okay,
But
okay.
no, I mean,
Dog Welder.
DC has these rotating miniseries, I think, that are really cool. Especially like the Legends of Tomorrow, I thought was really well done with Firestorm, Metal Men.
Yeah.
And having different characters go in there. They're releasing that new talent book this week.
Yeah, it was all for all the new creators.
For all that new creative stuff that came out of that Writers Workshop, Artist Workshop thing that they did.
I mean, the only things I need is the past and the future. I need my JSA, and I need my Legion of Superheroes, and I am content. Like, that's all I need. And Jeff Johns can write both of them. But that's all I need. I just need those 2, and we're perfect. We're golden.
Sorry to tell you, he won't be.
Yeah, in my dreams. But that's all I need. Anyone else?
I mean, I'm always partial to getting an Outsiders book back. But.
You know what? I could actually see them doing that at some point down the road.
I mean, they're all I mean, not all.
They're
At least 30% of your comics are Batman-related, influenced, or affiliated.
Katana's
so I'll
the
just
only
take Batman.
Katana's the only outsider that's actually involved in anything right now because Geoforce hasn't been around.
No, Geoforce is
Geoforce does have men around.
Oh, if they retcon him as gay, I'll be pissed.
Metamorpho hasn't been around short of that mini.
Oh, yeah. What happened to
No,
Metamorpho?
Metamorpho was in Legends.
yeah,
Legends of Tomorrow.
that mini. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Legends of
okay.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, Halo hasn't been around.
No, it's
No,
not
wait,
anything.
was Halo in the? No, Halo was in the Suicide Squad Most Wanted with Katana. They had her in there.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. Charlie, Toby, anything you guys want to see added or taken away from New 52? Or Rebirth, for that matter?
Spoiler? You want a spoiler book?
Well, you have Detective, which is like the awesome team up.
Yeah.
He wants another Harley book. There's not enough of those.
No, I don't even
Well-
want another Harley book.
You
I
don't?
want a
Fuck no.
classic Harley
That is-
book.
We
Yeah,
we
I-
all
A what?
we
I want
all
a classic Harley
we
book.
all want
yeah.
a Harley book written by other people at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need another Harley book. That's what DC needs is another Harley book. Like Marvel needs another asshole or another Deadpool book.
I think we just need a more
I actually
traditional
want
Harley.
Barbara back in the wheelchair is the only thing. That's the only thing.
That is like the one outlier, right? Of like they redid everything properly except for
Yeah.
that one thing.
Yeah.
Well, within the New 52, she still was Oracle at some point and got better. So,
I don't know.
yeah. All right. That's an episode. That's what we got. That's all our questions. Thank you,
What?
everyone.
We haven't talked nearly enough about how awesome Marvel is.
Well, we had
you know what
we
I
had
wanna
your
know?
chance when we were talking about X-Men.
I want to know what happened. What has happened to Carrion? If only there was an Amazing Spider-Man issue with Carrion in it. Whatever happened? How about Maximum Carnage being like the best arc ever?
So you know Marvel's going to launch like 4 Maximum Carnage spin-off books in the next 6 months, and they're not going to have nothing to do with Carnage.
I know. That's you're killing me.
Where's
You found a good way to insult me, which you've been struggling with for several years, but that's a good way to do it.
Where's Toxin? Where's Anti-Venom? Oh, wait, nobody cares. Actually, I wish Anti-Venom was back, because, I mean, Eddie Brock was back. That means Venom could be Venom again and not whatever garbage is in this new Venom
Did you
book.
Flash
read? Did you
Thompson.
read that one?
No,
The
but
new one?
it's just some random dude, right?
It literally feels like
Wait, what?
Ghost Rider.
Is-
Yeah.
Like it's
Wait, what?
let's pick some random guy and make him Venom.
yeah,
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Speaking of Ghost
Some
Rider,
random
Charlie,
dude's Venom.
are you? I know because everybody
What?
else gave
no,
up
we're
on
not
this.
speaking of Ghost Rider. What happened to what?
Did you? Are you up to date on Agent of Shield?
I'm 2 behind, maybe 3.
Did you see the? Can I spoil it? Can I spoil it?
Spoiler alert for the heavily watched Agents of Shield.
Yeah. Can I spoil it?
Sure, why not?
The original Ghost Rider showed up.
Oh,
Get the
no, I
fuck
didn't
out of
see that.
here!
Yeah, it's freaking cool.
Okay.
It's freaking cool, Charlie. Go and catch up.
Yeah, I heard Johnny Blaze was in there for like 18 seconds or
Yes.
something.
Oh, so not the original.
Yes, the original.
So yeah, that new Venom book that came out last week, man.
Wait. So how far behind on Venom am I? I just saw something where he was battling Spider-Man with awesome art. Paco Medina, was it?
I love Paco Medina.
He's fucking legit. And
He's been legit for like 15 years now.
so how far back am I? How many issues back am I?
Venom 1 just came out last week.
Yeah, it just launched.
Paco Medina.
Oh, when did they...
Prime time
what I
books.
read was Venom Space Knight with Paco Medina doing
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, that's the issue that just
You can
wrapped
fucking
up.
laugh, but the art is incredible, and he fights Spider-Man. It's a fucking great issue. I don't know. It had... I mean, don't get me wrong. It had nothing to do with Space Knights. I'm not sure... It was a Civil War II cross-in, which is the only reason I read it.
Yeah, they
but
put
it was
Venom.
great.
They put Venom in the space with Guardians, and he's been Flash Thompson now for a couple of years, and so they just wanted to take that Space Knight name and use it for Venom. So he was,
And did they land him on Earth and for the Civil War tie-in?
yeah, basically, and now he's back, and now he lost the symbiote.
Does that
No.
happen in an issue of Venom Space Knight that I have yet to read in
No,
my
I think
backlog?
it's just the issue of Venom. I guess just in between panels.
The symbiote is talking during it and going, "Oh, this guy has military experience. I had somebody who had military. My last host or whatever was
Random dude becomes Venom.
random dude becomes
It's not Brock or Flash?
no, it's some new guy.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It really felt like the same story that we got from Ghost Rider in Secret Wars. Like it's the same thing.
Wait, Ghost Rider in Secret Wars?
Yeah, it's the miniseries nobody read.
I read them all. I didn't read that one.
They'll launch the new Ghost Rider guy. Hey, they'll launch the new Ghost Rider book that comes out this week that nobody will care
Oh,
about.
actually, I read 95% of the Secret Wars stuff, and that was one that I didn't. The other one was the arcade shit. Even though I love arcade. How good is arcade? I wish that they would do a good arcade. You know who needs a reboot story is arcade. They could like find some millennial internet cloud computing way.
They would call them app now or something.
You know what? AR VR is like hugely more and more popular.
Everybody's VR, and it would just automatically adhere to their head, their skulls. And
Sure.
they couldn't escape, and they just
Sure.
That's like Mojo.
Oh, that would be more accurately Mojo. What happened to Mojo? We need another Mojo story. You know what we need is an arcade Mojo team up.
I know you love the X Babies.
Dude, I love them second most in this room only to you. Like, come on. I love the X Babies.
You can't talk to me about my love of Reverend Baby characters when I know you love the X Babies.
That wasn't like an insult. That was just a fact. I unabashedly love the X Babies and would never deny it. Unlike you, self-loathing Ryan Higgins, telling me that you don't like the what were we arguing about earlier?
Baby Hellfire Club.
Baby Hellfire Club. Yeah, fucking Higgins.
Anyway,
Oh,
that's a podcast.
wait, come on. There surely must be more. How about
Moon Knight. Can he get his own movie?
no? I've been looking at the whole wall.
That's a Netflix show.
What's funny is that like
You should look at old Marvel comics about characters people actually care about, and not look at the wall because no one cares about any of this
people
garbage.
are complaining about the lack of diversity in Marvel, and maybe comics in
it's
general.
too diverse.
And maybe there is a diversity problem, but like I'm looking at the wall, and like 50% are female superheroes that I'm looking at.
Teenage superheroes too.
Well, whether or not they're teenage, 50% are female, and like I mean, if we're just being real, like 50% of Marvel's movies aren't going to be female-led movies. Like that's just fucking business and math. Like
No, they're pulling teeth to get that. They're pulling teeth to get that. That Captain Marvel.
Captain
movie
Marvel.
out.
Exactly. And if that's successful, then Miss Marvel will show up in Captain Marvel 2, not her own movie. And that's the best chance of getting a second like leading female character out here. They're not going to do a female Thor. They're not going to do any female spider related people. They're not going to do a solo Scarlet Witch title. They're not going to do a solo female X related title. They're not going to do fucking Gwenpool or Hellcat. They're not going to have any of the females in Doctor Strange's universe. They're not going to have any of the female
She-Hulk?
leads from Champions. They might do.
I actually shut him
They
up.
might do. I can see them doing a Netflix She-Hulk.
yeah.
That would be fucking awesome. By the way, that would be incredible. They're not going to
But
do.
don't have Soul write it because his Daredevil.
They're not
stuff
going to
is-
have. Wait, isn't Ant-Man 2 supposed to be female led?
Ant-Man and Wasp. Yeah.
So there will be Wasp and
Co-lead.
female Yellow Jacket. So it'll be Okay, all right, and that's
It's
probably
a couple movies.
That's probably the closest that they'll get because they're not going to do Elektra again, and they'll never touch A-Force. And I mean, Jessica Jones. I mean, they already had that as a
they scrapped
TV
the Black
show.
Widow movie, didn't they?
Like Medusa, they'll never do a Medusa TV show or movie. Squirrel Girl. I mean, as much as Higgins would love it, and let's be real, I would love it, even though I hate it. They'll never do that. Like, there's just it's 50% of the Marvel universe is female led. I'm sure it's not 50%, but
you know, I find it funny because you can turn to DC and you say, yeah, I could see the Batwoman movie or TV show. Yeah, I could see a Birds of
What?
Prey Batwoman or a Birds of Prey show or movie.
show.
Show or movie. Yeah.
No,
I could
but there's
see
a big difference.
Catwoman. Yep.
Yep.
Harley. Yep. Poison Ivy. I think they could pull off a Poison Ivy
What the
television
fuck?
show.
On what channel?
I think
Animal Planet, Discovery Channel.
the hell.
And dude, Animal Planet runs some weird shit.
Like
The
Wonder
fuck?
Woman. Yep.
No.
Supergirl. Yep.
No. Wonder Woman movie, yes. Poison Ivy
Oh,
show?
they could do
no.
a Lois Lane. They could do like a Lois Lane TV show.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But
DC
you went
has,
over a bunch of earlier shit that I disagree with most of it, even though I don't remember what you said.
DC has the potential for a lot of female led
It's
characters.
because you guys have like wormed your way into this niche CW like ecosystem. Like your DC female characters don't survive outside. I mean, look at what Supergirl like. It didn't survive. It had to run back to the shelter of the CW. Like I'm sure that it's a great show, but like it wasn't lasting where it was.
That's the problem of network versus
Sure.
other
But like,
stuff.
they don't have a Netflix of their own, which I would love it if they did. I mean, if fucking Poison Ivy had a show on like a Netflix equivalent or Netflix, I would fucking like love to watch that shit. Like if it was a good show.
There is talk. I didn't link this in the article for the stuff for this week. There is Toby. I don't know. Maybe you read more about this than I did, but there is talk of a Warner Brothers direct access.
Like streaming. Yeah,
right.
Why not?
Yeah.
They got enough material, and when they had the DC block and they did those DC shorts, I thought that was actually really cool stuff.
Yeah. So the odds, so the potential for DC solo shows on the streaming service, akin to Netflix or CBS All Access or things like that, it's possible.
Yeah,
that is fucking digging deep, though.
I mean,
you're saying they're going to make their own channel, and that all these would be hosted on this imaginary channel?
We're not that far away from that, though.
Well, every channel already does that.
Yeah, we're not that far away.
Mm-hmm.
See, I mean, CBS All Access, they have the Star Trek shows coming out next year.
Channel.
CBS All Access? What is that?
It's all the CBS stuff.
Yeah.
It's available right now.
Is that on my Apple TV? If it is
Sure,
not, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's just an app that I can download, and I can just...
Yeah, CW.
But you have to pay for it separately.
CW's free app just went up, so all the CW shows are available free on CW. This is the day after, right?
3 hours later.
3 hours?
Seems
Okay.
Wait, so if I wanted to catch up on...
They cut off after a certain time.
If I wanted to catch up on Arrow and Flash, I could do that on this app?
I don't know if it's all of them, because I was trying to actually watch Frequency because it's got some better reviews.
Yeah.
The first episode is not on there.
Yeah,
First two are not
I
on
haven't
there.
seen
I think
any-
it's like last 5 or 6.
Yeah, I haven't.
okay.
Yeah, I think it's more with 3 or 4 because I tried to go watch the Arrows when 5 came out, and the first one was gone.
I mean, maybe they'll do.
Oh, so it's like a fucking network
But
app.
if they're smart, they do most current free, and then for $5, or they probably do $10, you could watch the entire
Watch
library.
everything. Yeah,
I don't see any apps doing that yet, though.
They do. CBS.
Yeah, it's already started.
Yeah.
HBO.
What he's saying? $5.
I wish it was $5, but
HBO goes
be
what?
$10.
HBO goes 15. CBS is $5.99.
No,
$6.99. Is it $7.99?
CBS is
Whoa,
$7.99 for one
see-
channel.
CBS.
Stars is 7.
Is it?
Yeah,
say?
Stars you can pay for itself. HBO you pay for
Stars
itself.
is $7.99, and I don't need to have a cable subscription?
Yeah, you can.
That's fucking incredible. When is
You can-
AMC going to jump on board with this shit? I would do it for
They
AMC.
don't.
Starve, I would.
They're not far
by
behind
the way,
either.
if any of you... Are we still recording?
Yeah.
If any of you guys haven't watched Spartacus, you should stop this podcast and... No, we're almost done. You should finish listening. But afterwards, you should go watch Spartacus. Spartacus is fucking legit. It is awesome. 5 out of 5 stars for Spartacus. 2 thumbs up, doing a jig. Other than that, Stars hasn't done anything forever.
Ash versus the
fucking
Evil
Black Sails?
Dead.
Yeah,
Oh.
Black Sails is on there.
Dude, Black Sails is phenomenal. Just because you don't watch it and it's not
No,
rated
I
on
watched-
fucking Rotten Tomatoes, you don't want to watch
Let
it.
me finish my version of the story, which is flattering to Black Sails. I loved the first... No, I did love the first episode of Black Sails, but the problem is that I watch, unlike fucking all of you other married people, I watch Black Sails with my wife, and she was like, there's way too many titties in here. I am
Does she
just
watch Game
not...
of Thrones?
Yeah, she's not
Then what's
averse
the
to titties. Don't get me
then
wrong, but
what's the difference?
the fucking gratuitousness of the titties. She loved Spartacus, but didn't like Black Sails. Look, I'll get to Black Sails eventually. Is Black Sails still going on?
It's going to be last season.
Hey, Bryce.
Yeah.
When you're flipping through the Stars thing and you get the Ash vs. Evil Dead, just keep going. Just skip it. It's real bad.
Oh.
Sorry,
It
Charlie.
is not
Charlie,
real.
we did
It is
real
great.
bad. It's
I went-
real bad.
By the way, it's already established
It
on
is
this podcast
great.
that I go to Rotten Tomatoes to vet everything that I will ever watch, and Ash vs. the Evil Dead is just dead. He must have been doing a bad job of fighting it because it's dead.
It's real bad.
No, Bryce. A lot of people
Okay,
have been,
I have to go check out what its rating on Rotten Tomatoes is now.
I
Because
actually am talking out of my ass. If
I have a feeling you're talking out of your ass, so I want to go look it up on Rotten Tomatoes.
bluff call.
Bryce, what happened is a lot of people cut cable because it was too expensive, and so they're trying to get these people back by doing the streaming stuff.
No. It makes sense. I just didn't.
That is so wrong. If you pay for all this stuff separately, it's like twice the amount you pay for cable, though.
That's
No, I know it's twice the amount, but the thing is people.
More.
But the thing is
Probably
if you cut cable and you stream only HBO,
If you watch like one thing, maybe.
Wait, that's not true though. Like if you pay $100 a month for cable,
Yeah,
how many
you get 10 channels, or less than 10 channels you pay for premium. HBO is $15.
Literally, I pay for Hulu and Netflix.
Okay.
Oh, and HBO.
Well, Hulu is gonna break
That
apart.
is $45 a month.
Hulu's going to break apart.
Wait, what?
Hulu's going to break. All the WB shows are off. Hulu's going to break apart. All these individual.
Then I'll
people
stop fucking paying for Hulu and I'll go from $45 to $30 a month, and I'll add your $7 a month Arrow and Flash TV show network.
Well, that's free anyways right now.
Anyway, the point is, Wonder Woman gets her own movie. Poison Ivy doesn't. Birds of Prey, yes, I can see their own show. Lois Lane, I can see her own show. But I don't think that DC has much more. Who else did you say that you think?
I'd like to see Gotham Central.
Catwoman. I think
No, I don't think that I think that she shows up in Birds of Prey. I don't think that Catwoman gets her own show or movie.
I'm saying they could. I mean, she did. She did have her own movie. It was
How did that
really
go?
bad.
Really bad,
Yeah.
fucking wolf.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to end this episode here. We could rattle on about this forever. Thanks to all.
If you want some more TV rattling on, you can listen to Toby and Charlie's special little podcast.
Oh, there you go.
Patreon plug. Yeah. But let's talk about our great backers here. If you want to get in, you have a couple days left before our next backing on Patreon here goes through. So send us some money on Patreon at those high tier levels. If you want to pimp something, we'll do it here, just like our good friends Albert Soy. He's got an app plant everywhere. It's on iTunes. Check it out.
Albert, you and I are going to be opening a shit ton of packs on Thursday.
Play some Hearthstone. Julian Titus has the Nerds Without Pants podcast. No pants. Toby?
No pants.
There it is. At pixelbit.com. I don't know. Brock just made some weird noise.
Let's try to say no pants.
Ryan Hess has the Preach podcast at soundcloud.com/Preach podcast. And I heard...
Hold on. I just want to say one word.
I heard that there might be a special guest on that soon.
I just want to say one word.
What's up?
Grumbeards. I'm done.
There you go. Jody Lawson is canon the Triad Comics Anthology at triadcomicstudio.com. Pick up some comics from them. Manoa plays Sam Che, Talon Bray. Talon Bray. I don't know why I say Talon. Talon Bray. I think you guys
I think you go back and forth. You say Talon one week and then the next week you say
I think
Talon.
I started to say Talon, and I had no idea why I was actually saying that. And I was like, wait, it's Talon. Thank you guys all very, very much for all your support.
Thank you.
And as
We
well
do
as
appreciate it.
all our other backers, patreon.com/comic conspiracy. And if I can maneuver over to my other file that I thought was open, just so I don't forget any of our stuff when we close out here. Of course, I can do that here.
Yeah, 287 episodes in, you can't remember it.
Well, if I read it, it's much easier, because then I don't forget anything. ComicConspiracyPodcast.com, Geekbox.net, and iTunes. That's where you can find our podcast. Go there and rate and review us, please. The Comic Conspiracy at Geekbox.net, or that contact form at Geekbox.net. So send us some long form emails if you want to do that. Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy. Again, you can donate a little money to us there. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz. That is our digital storefront. Lots of good stuff on there. Always
They're
big
going to be
sales.
doing some X amount of days of Christmas sale. They do it every year.
Yeah, and they just had the big Black Friday sale, so hopefully you picked up some good stuff. ConspiratorBrock.com, that's Brock's video pull list and blog. Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension, that's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. And my wife Leanne has her Etsy shop at etsy.com/shop/Leanne.
Wait a minute. Is she a Patreon? Sorry, is she a patron?
Sure.
No.
So not.
Lies. Nepotism.
All of us are on Twitter. Ryan Higgins, Ryan, that's me. Brock is Brock Sager. Larson, Bryce, that's Bryce Larson. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. The store is Comics Con Store. Add all of us and talk to us, please. Also, check out the Geekbox, Comedy Button, Good Job Brand, All Talk Podcast, and Manga Machinations. Toby was on, 2 weeks ago? Yeah. Manga Machinations. So make sure you check out those. And that's it. We'll catch you guys in December.
Auf Wiedersehen, Fräuleins.